Hey y'all, it's Redneck Biker 109. I thought I'd just do a quick walk around video of my motorcycle and what I ride. Um, uh, I've got a 2012 KLR 650. I've done a few modifications to it. I've done the 16 tooth sprocket, and the stock is 15, so to make it a little bit easier for my commute, I put on the 16th here on the front. Of course, y'all can't see that, but then I've also added the SWMO Tech crash bars. Now, I've crash tested those a couple times, and they're sturdy. I mean, I'm really happy with them. I've fallen over a couple times in the driveway, and that front brake on that KLR sometimes will just compress, and it'll just, well, for me, I'm skinny and small, and so it just wiped my butt out. So there you can see it. I've done a couple other, farkles to it. You can see there the JC Whitney Top Box. Now, that's the way to go right there. I didn't particularly care for the mounting hardware that it came with, but what I did was I just drilled into the plate that came on the motorcycle anyway, and it was just 4 little screws and put it on like that. It just was so much easier than that piece of shit mounting plate they send with it. I don't know what they're thinking on that. And then I've got new tires. I went with the 705s, the Shinko 705s. They say they're a 70-30, but I find that hard to believe. I know, like, I've ridden it in the grass, and the grass is a little, even slightly wet, you kind of lose traction. So I'm not so sure about that 70-30. Maybe it's more like a 90-10. But this is my first motorcycle, and I really really happy with it. It's basically the Jeep of the motorcycle world, and it's a lot of fun. I get a lot of questions about it, and I think the black one like this actually looks really good. It's kind of got that smoke gray gas tank, and then the smoke gray front fairing, and it's a two-tone gray and black, and it just looks really good. It's I don't think there's many other ones that come stock like this that look as good. I do believe the blue one looks really good too, and of course everyone likes Kawasaki green, but that just gets old quick. And then what I plan to do to it is I plan on doing a couple other farkles. Of course, there are some little things that are wrong with the way Kawasaki makes it, and everyone, of course, knows about the doohickey, and that one of those things that needs to be changed pretty quick. I've got about 3,500 miles or so on it, and that's one of the things I want to do pretty quick. And then the thermobob, I want to do that as well, which helps the engine get to temperature better, and of course it gets 100 degrees here in the summer, and so you want your motorcycle to stay pretty regular, the temperature wise. And then I also have a new windshield coming. I've got that zero gravity windshield coming, and it'll fit right there in place of the stock windshield. That's 4 little screws, and the stock one will come out, and that'll give me a little bit more protection in the winter, because I plan on commuting just as much as I possibly can on it. And I'll pull that stock one right out, save it for the summer, and then just swap them out back and forth like that. And then I've got, of course, a WolfMan Tank Bag. I don't know why anyone would buy anything other than a WolfMan bag. I mean, that thing right there is perfect. It's waterproof and resistant, and I sprayed it down with a little Scotch Brite protectorant as well, and it just, man, yesterday I put my lunch in there. I stopped at Dunkin' Donuts. That place ain't right either, and just got my lunch and threw it in there and went on to work, and that's the way to go. And then one other thing too I want to do is I'm probably going to lower this front fender. I'm going to buy an Eagle Mike fork brace, and then probably in a service lower front fender, and I really kind of like that KTM look, so that's probably what I'll end up doing to it. And like I said, I'm really happy with it. You can't really beat this bicycle or motorcycle for what it is. I mean, you can't buy this and expect to go, you know, 90 to nothing on the freeway. That's not what this is for. This is if you want to get out and play in the dirt, you can. And I also like, you know, you can also commute on it. Like, and that's what I'm doing. And it's, you know, right now I'm getting about 62 miles to the gallon for the most part, depending on how I ride. I think that was the last tank of gas. I got about 62. The time before that, I got right around 54. So 54 seems to be more of the norm than the 62. I don't know what I did to get the 62, and I double-checked my math, and I know I'm a redneck. But I took my shoes off even and counted all the numbers right, and so I'm pretty sure it was accurate. Another thing I did add, too, is this little $3 cargo net. And this is something else. I just shoved my riding pants in here like this the other day, and they just stayed right in there because I had my top box full with a bunch of food and stuff, and was getting ready for work, and I needed a little extra little storage, and it sure enough did it. You just clip that right on there, and it'll, well, it won't stay for me now, of course, you know, but you just clip it right on there, and it stays in there for you. And my pants stayed in there, and it was just nice and easy. You can't beat that for a $2 little Farkle. It works really well. I think I might too drill some holes, maybe my top box, and do it that way too. So here, let me start it up for you, and we'll get it going. That's what it sounds like running. It's one of the most unique sounds, and a lot of people change out that stock muffler, but I kind of like it, so I'll probably leave it that way for a while. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's a 2012 KLR 650, and you know, I really like it a lot. So if you have any questions or comments, please throw them down there in the, you know, down there in the bottom. Let me know what you think, what you like, what you don't like. And I'll be seeing you out there on the road. We'll talk at you later. This is Redneck Biker 109. Y'all have a good one.